She is my best friend. Wang Anyu's emotional vow to always stand by Tian Xiwei. What happens when one sentence changes everything people thought they knew? What happens when cameras stop rolling, the lights fade, and a quiet promise suddenly becomes louder than every rumor, every headline, and every whisper online? She is my best friend. Those 6 words landed with a force nobody expected. And when Wang Anyu said them while speaking about Tian Xiwei, fans everywhere paused, replayed the moment, and wondered whether they had just witnessed something far deeper than a simple statement. Because sometimes the strongest emotions are not hidden inside grand confessions. Sometimes they live inside loyalty, inside staying, inside choosing someone over and over again when nobody is asking you to. And now the question everyone cannot stop asking is this: what kind of friendship creates a promise so powerful that someone says they will always stand by another person? Stay until the end because this story unfolds in ways that will surprise you. The moment felt ordinary at first. There were cameras, questions, smiles. Nothing unusual. Then the conversation shifted toward Tian Xiwei. Instead of giving a polished celebrity answer or moving quickly to another topic, Wang Anyu slowed down. His expression changed. And then came the words, "She is my best friend." Simple, calm. But something about the way he said it made people feel like there was more beneath the surface. Not drama, not scandal, something stronger. Sincerity. For celebrities who live under constant attention, friendships can become difficult to protect. Every interaction gets analyzed. Every smile gets turned into speculation. Every public appearance becomes another opportunity for strangers to create stories. Yet despite all of that, Wang Anyu did something unexpected. He spoke with certainty. No hesitation. No careful distancing. Just a clear declaration that Tian Xiwei mattered. And that changed everything. People started remembering moments. Small moments. The kinds of moments that usually disappear unnoticed. Times they laughed naturally during interviews. Moments where they looked comfortable instead of rehearsed. The way conversations between them seemed effortless. Fans revisited old clips and suddenly saw details they had ignored before. One interview became another. One memory connected to another. And a bigger picture slowly appeared. 2 people who seemed to understand each other in a way that felt rare. Not because they were always together, but because their interactions felt easy. The kind of easy that cannot be acted. There is something fascinating about friendships formed under pressure. Actors spend months together. Long filming days. Repeated scenes. Early mornings. Late nights. They enter emotional situations together and build trust quickly. But not every working relationship becomes meaningful. Many remain professional. Some disappear completely once filming ends. That is why people became curious. What made this connection different? According to those who watched closely, there seemed to be an unspoken understanding. When Tian Xiwei talked, Wang Anyu listened. When moments became awkward, they found humor. When cameras searched for reactions, there was comfort instead of tension. Nothing dramatic, just presence. And sometimes presence says more than words. Then came another unforgettable moment. Someone asked about support. Support in difficult times. Support when things become overwhelming. Support when public pressure becomes too loud. Instead of giving a general answer, Wang Anyu reportedly expressed something that left people talking for days. That he would stand by her. Always. Not because she needed saving. Not because she asked. But because friendship means showing up. That statement spread quickly. People debated what it meant. Some called it rare. Others called it refreshing. Many simply called it beautiful. Because in a world where attention moves fast and relationships often look temporary, there was something unexpectedly powerful about hearing someone openly value friendship. And perhaps that is why the reaction became so emotional. People were not reacting only to Wang Anyu and Tian Xiwei. They were reacting to the idea itself. To having someone who stays. Someone who remembers. Someone who supports. Someone who says you matter and means it. As discussions continued, more people began sharing stories about their own friendships. People talked about friends who stood beside them during difficult years. Friends who answered late-night calls. Friends who celebrated victories without jealousy. Friends who disappeared. Friends who stayed. Suddenly, this was no longer celebrity news. It became something personal. Because everyone understands what it feels like to want loyalty. Everyone understands how rare genuine connection can be. And perhaps that explains why this moment felt bigger than expected. The image people often have of fame is glamorous. Bright lights. Success. Perfect moments. But behind every public life are ordinary emotions. Uncertainty. Pressure. Loneliness. And friendships become anchors. The people who remind you who you were before attention arrived. The people who make ordinary moments feel safe. Maybe that is why Wang Anyu's words carried weight. Because they felt human. No complicated speech. No performance. Just recognition. You are important to me. I will stand beside you. As fans continued discussing the moment, another interesting idea emerged. Maybe people spend too much time searching for dramatic love stories and not enough time appreciating extraordinary friendships. Because friendships can be epic too. Friendships can change lives. Friendships can become the reason someone keeps moving forward. And friendship does not become less meaningful just because it is not romantic. Sometimes friendship is the strongest kind of connection. The kind that survives expectations. The kind that survives distance. The kind that survives changing seasons. Looking back now, the phrase still feels powerful. She is my best friend. Not because it answers questions, but because it leaves space. Space for trust. Space for interpretation. Space for people to appreciate something simple and rare. And maybe that is the real reason this moment stayed with so many people. Not because people wanted a headline, but because they wanted proof that loyalty still exists. That people still choose each other. That meaningful bonds still matter. Whether years from now Wang Anyu and Tian Xiwei continue appearing together or take completely different paths, that moment remains unforgettable. Because moments like that remind people of something easy to forget. Life moves quickly. Attention changes. Success rises and falls. But the people who stand beside you become part of your story forever. And maybe that is the real vow hidden inside those words. Not forever in the dramatic sense. Forever in the everyday sense. Checking in. Showing up. Remembering. Supporting. Standing there even when nobody notices. So, if there is someone in your life who has stayed through difficult seasons, who believed in you quietly, who stood beside you without expecting applause, maybe today is the day to tell them. Because friendship deserves to be spoken out loud. And sometimes the most unforgettable love story is not a romance at all. Sometimes it begins with 6. She is my best friend. The conversation should have ended there. A simple statement. A few headlines. Another passing moment in entertainment news. But something unexpected happened. People kept returning to it. Days passed, and the words still echoed. She is my best friend. Not because they sounded dramatic, but because they sounded real. Then another scene quietly captured attention. During a crowded event filled with cameras and constant movement, there was a brief moment many almost missed. Tian Xiwei was speaking to someone nearby when she suddenly laughed. Not the polite kind of smile celebrities wear for photos. A genuine laugh. And standing a short distance away, Wang Anyu noticed. For only a second. But his expression changed too. No interruption. No attempt to draw attention. Just that small look people give when they are happy someone else is happy. Fans noticed. And suddenly, everyone started talking again. Maybe loyalty does not always arrive in huge speeches. Maybe it appears in small moments. In remembering details. In noticing moods. In staying connected even when nobody is watching. That idea only made Wang Anyu's earlier words feel stronger. Because standing by someone is rarely dramatic.
It is ordinary.
It is answering messages. Showing support. Being present during difficult days and celebrating the good ones without making them about yourself. People began imagining conversations behind the scenes. Long filming days becoming conversations that stretched into evenings. Moments of encouragement before important scenes. Shared jokes that made exhausting schedules feel lighter. Not because anyone knows exactly what happens privately, but because genuine comfort cannot be easily performed. And perhaps that is what people connected with most. The feeling. The reminder that meaningful friendships still exist. As the discussions continued, one fan wrote something that quickly spread. The strongest relationships are not always the loudest. Sometimes they are simply the ones that stay. That sentence seemed to capture everything. Because in a world that constantly asks people to prove connections publicly, there was something refreshing about a promise built on presence instead of performance. No dramatic declaration. No impossible promises. Just one quiet message that somehow became unforgettable. No matter where life takes us, I will stand by you. And somehow those words felt bigger than fame itself.